Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once more. It's F2, it's SLR, and we're at Austria. It's the third round of the season, and what a start to the season has been for the F2 series. As the guys are just getting ready in the lobby, let's have a look at the standings. But before we get to that, let's introduce the voice of SLR. It's Mr. Tipsybull.
Hello, Chief, and ladies and gentlemen watching. Thank you, Chief, for the introduction. And yes, I'm really looking forward to this race this week, Chief. The second race of the week of the season in Formula 2. And last week was the sprint race particularly was really, really exciting. There was people getting even after the race, even after the feature race, people lost positions because of the reports and stuff came in. But you can see the standings there at the moment. What we see here, Mac, then he went from last to first, didn't he, Chief?
Yeah, he really did, yeah.
Man is just a freak of nature. But what I want to touch on just quickly here before we get into the race, they're going to do the one-shot quali in Austria, is Austria. I know a lot of guys in the Formula 1 format don't really get too excited about Austria because it is kind of like just a DRS thing, just a big long straight. That's pretty much it. Other than that, there isn't much overtaking. However, the thing about Formula 2 is you kind of have to force the issue when it comes to a pass. So I think it is highly likely, and it's wet, I think it's highly likely that we're going to see some drama today as well, Chief.
Yeah, we saw a couple of drivers, well, a lot of drivers struggling with these F2 cars. They're quite heavy and a bit sluggish, and yeah, people are eager to get that powered on, and it sometimes costs them because these cars can be a bit of a handful. And Austria, you really need to be on your game, especially there's some really high speed, tight corners where it's a lot of braking is required, a lot of confidence in the braking. And yeah, let's switch over to qualifying as it's just begun. And McKenna retired already, as well as Dragon, Jurian Prince. Just in P1 though, but you can see this every corner. We're going to see a big switch up in positions here, but over the course of this lap, we should have a clear indication of who is going to be at the top end of the grid.
Yeah, I think we have to just expect Justin and Tsunari. It's not normal to expect those two. And then Larson did really great last week as well in quali. Remember that? So keep your eye out for him as he just dropped from podium to P9. Oh, who's that? Skin Tony went off. So Skin Tony's definitely coming last.
Oh dear. And Justin, on the straight, made up about 3-4 positions. So he obviously got a very good exit out of turn 2 there. And he's up to P3 already. So this guy is... yeah, he's getting the grips of this car over the course of one lap. He's up to P2 now, so Tanari currently holding that top spot. So, actually, yeah, switches to Justin, so I don't know what Justin's doing out there, but he's obviously dialed into the track here in the Sector 2. And, gets a little bit wiggly.
Oh, Tuna Man! Sorry, Chief, Tuna Man! Oh no, surely he's going to lose out. Yeah, he should really drop down. He went off track there onto the gravel, but he's still up to 5th. Our gamer takes the P1 off Justin. Is he going to hold it? Here we go, crossing the line. And I think our gamer is indeed going to get pole. He just pips Justin with Meepo in 3rd place. Our gamer came from nowhere there. He wasn't anywhere near the top 3, I don't believe. And then there you go. One corner pretty much. Our gamer takes pole position in Austria.
Yeah, and let's clear up a little bit of confusion, because I think even we were confused last week when the feature race happened. As far as I'm aware, it's the top 10 get reversed for the feature race. Is that right, or is is that completely wrong? I think that's wrong, isn't it?
I mean, you would think, Chief, after 5-6 years we've been doing this, that we would kind of know this stuff. But hey, we are older gentlemen, so if someone in the chat could keep us updated. How does it work again? Because I always thought the sprint race was decided. Does the one shot not decide? I don't know. I was going to say one shot decides where you finish, where you start in the sprint, I would imagine, and then the sprint decides where you start in the feature.
That would make sense, yeah. But I think P1 is exempt from that rule. But we'll get that cleared up as this race goes on. Although we didn't figure it out last week either. We were just like, huh?
No.
There's no formation lab in which to figure stuff out, so we just went with it.
We're just gonna look. Put it this way: our gamer got pole, so if he starts pole, then that solves that dilemma.
Yeah, and just in P2 as well. So we'll keep an eye on that and figure that out for next week, I guess. Hopefully for the feature race today. But look at this weather, man. It's what you usually see is Austria. It's got its own climate, as the F1 commentators will say, and
Hmm.
today is no different. It looks like light rain, maybe heavy rain, might be.
Hmm.
Oh, it looks like heavy rain. Full wets on everyone. Let's go
Yeah.
up.
But the lights are on and the lights are off. And off they go. They lead us away. Who's that in P3? Punk gets a mega start off the line. And what's going to happen here? There's all going a couple of wide here. 3 wide, a little bit of contact. Oh, and it's a domino effect almost from the back. And they all have managed to just about avoid it. People going off track. But Dice, surely that can't be right. Is this,
Yeah,
what?
that's right.
Dice!
P1, yeah.
Dicey boy is in P1 and he is, suppose he can't believe it himself that he's in P1, heading down into this tricky braking zone, especially the way, oh, someone just about avoids rear end and someone else. I can't remember the name of these cars, but so far
Oh,
everyone's been
Reggie
pretty
is
good.
off. Yeah, P9's off.
Everyone's off.
I think I saw what happened there. He lagged back, and then the car just collected him, and he's in the wall. So he's had a great start, but after turn
Justin! What happened there with Justin? Did somebody tap the rear end of Justin? Oh, and there's another Red Bull off track. Who's that?
2,
I just called him Red Bull.
is that Crawley Voice? I think it is. Yeah, he's trying to get back
Yeah,
up to speed again. Ooh, bit of a twitch there as he rejoins, but yeah, lots happening in this first lap. We'll try and keep up with it as best we can. But Dice currently out in lead. 1.2 is the gap to P2. So Dice is known for his starts in Tier 2. He's a full-time driver.
Oh,
Tier
Justin!
2.
Sorry, Chief. Justin's going for a really brave move. Oh, and then Zupson's not going to give it up to Justin. So we did see last week that Zupson will fight it.
Oh my
but
word.
Chief runs wide, or not Chief, sorry, Justin runs wide, and Zupson gets that move back. But oh, who's this? We've got George joining the back. Oh, George getting the tank slapper. That's going to let our gamer slip up past him. This is a mega battle. This is a continue on from last week in the sprint race when Justin was against Zupson. And Justin holds on to that P5 off our gamer, and Justin will now be trying to settle himself to get to this P4 of Zupson, but Zupson does not yield easily. Here comes Chief, or Justin, I keep calling him Chief. Here comes Justin. Justin's going to try and force Zupson off the white line.
Zupson done the inside. Or sorry, Ioannidis is done the inside, but yeah, our gamer gets a better exit, takes a wider line. And there's something happening up ahead as well. Looks like something happened between Justin and Samim there. Samim is dropping down the order. Oh, Samim almost runs into the back of our gamer. Oh, he runs into the back of Justin. What's happening?
No! Justin cannot get a break of people rear-ending him.
Yeah, and
what happened
there as well? Tenari. So yeah, we haven't seen what happened to him, but he's P15. He was off track there. So lots of guys struggling in these wet conditions. And meanwhile, Dice up ahead, 2-second lead, P1, P2.
Yeah, Dice probably won't believe what he's got here, this lovely 2-second lead. But Chief Tunaman, or Tunari, as most people would recognize, he actually is losing. He's lost a front end plate. Is that I can see his front right end plate, and I think Reggie is also losing a front right end plate. So both drivers suffering front right end plates.
That can't feel good in these conditions. I mean, it's tough in dry conditions, but these wet conditions, that's only going to exacerbate the problem. And I'm looking at Meepo and McKender here. They're following Ioannidis pretty closely. It looks like McKenna might go for a move here, and Ioannidis is guarding that inside line early. McKenna will try and go around the outside. There is contact there as they head into the braking zone. And as we saw, Ioannidis going for the inside line once again, but McKenna's going to get the better run out. Almost touching back wheel of Ioannidis, but managed to avoid contact there, and McKender up to P6, but Ioannidis going to fight this on the inside maybe, going to send it down the inside. Oh, and the car goes out wide, and he pushes McKenna out wide, but McKenna able to hold on to P6 for now, and Meepo's just watching this, chilling out, and just biding his time here.
Yeah, it's the best thing Meepo can do here is just use some of the experience of the guys that he's raced with, and tap into that whenever you see things like this happen up ahead, it's not always time to capitalize on it. Just, oh, there you go, there's a perfect example. George losing on the curb on the traction, and it's an easy pass for Meepo. But George is still fighting this, and that not be wise, because he's going to end up running out wide, and then it's going to leave him open to attack from Jurian Prince behind, also known as Dragon. Whew. Quite a lot of things happening at the moment, but it's mostly this midfield pack Chief, is where all this action has happened. Also, let me point out that Dice has lost that 2-second advantage. Zupson is now starting to eat into it.
Yeah, I believe Zipson said the fastest lap last lap round, or at least he was faster than Dice that last lap, and that gap is coming down. It was over 2 seconds at one point. It's now 1.2, and Justin P3 as well is a danger. Our gamer is following Justin through, and McKenna as well, P5.
Mac got a nice move there on him, but he was just almost lost it on the traction. As
my word!
And Mac is off the track.
CM Punk,
what happened there?
He just missed his braking point, I think, and crisis for McKenna. CM Punk keeps the position. McKenna down to P11, so that was not very good. The FIA will definitely be having a look at that one after the race. McKenna was doing so well, making his way through the field without incident, but yeah, his luck ran out, I guess. And there is something going on here between Jolie and Crawley Voice.
That's what I was watching on. There was a nice fight side by side, just about on the limit between each other. Bit of wheel banging, but nothing too bad. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Mac. You said he just lost the traction there?
No, it was CM Punk. He missed his braking point and went straight into McKenna.
I think that might be what had happened to Sam as well on, was that Justin, I think, earlier on. But yeah, we've got a wee battle here from CM Punk down to, well, P8. And Jury, and these guys are all fighting, and George is going to have a little go here. We're surely not going to go 3 wide. That would not be wise, people, but George is going to try and go up the inside. No. Oh, but CM Punk really gets all heavy on the brakes. Nearly catches George out. Now George is side by side. We've got 2 blue cars. We've got, Drags get a tank slapper further back, but Meepo loses out to George.
Yeah, and this is where CM Punk missed his braking point last time out. This time he does get it right and doesn't cause an accident, thankfully. But CM Punk is dropping down the order here, down to P7, soon to be P8, as Jurian is going around the outside here, and we'll have the inside for the next corner. Yeah,
man, and don't forget, we still have Max back there. He is, although he's way down here in P10, he does have the pace, and there is enough laps for him to catch up if he can just navigate his way around Crawley Voice, which I think he should do reasonably comfortably. He's going to go for it at the very back corner. He does get the move done, so that's Mac up to P9. And but it's this midfield pack we're looking at, Chief, from George down to Punk. Well, more or less down to Jurian now, because they're starting to drop Punk.
Yeah, we'll have to look at this battle up front, because Zupson is getting nailed by our gamer is getting nailed by Justin up to P2. Actually, Zupson was the guy lost out there. Our gamer up to P3, so Zupson lost 2 positions there, and and it's tied through the turn 2, but yeah, Justin and our gamer now going at it. These guys are battling it out for P2. Meanwhile, Dice will be relishing this battle behind, because it's going to cost some time, but they're still closing in on him, and we're not even halfway through this race, actually. There's our gamer up to P2 there, down the inside, and turn 3. Nice move from him.
I think how our gamer was able to get that move started was that Zupson bumped to the rear of Justin, and that really compromised Justin's, getting onto the traction, which let our gamer get side by side and fight for that. But as you said, Dice has been held on nicely here to P6, but I think it's a lot to do with the fact that these faster guys are trying to navigate their way up. If Dice holds on to this P1, it will be a mega result, but he's going to come under immense pressure now, but not only by our gamer, but Justin and Zupson.
And this is a real true test of a driver. Whenever you have very fast guys behind you, it's a mental game. As our gamer sets the fast lap, that will further add pressure to Dice here, as he's struggling in these conditions, it looks like. And on lap 7 of this race, our gamer is right on the back of him, and may get the move done by turn 2. Yep, they're side by side. Justin opting for the outside line. Dice not fighting it too hard. And Dice actually might go for this in the inside. No contact, thankfully. Both drivers make it through safely, but our gamer coming out P1. Justin knows he needs to get past Dice now if he has any chance of winning this race. Our gamer, he doesn't want to see our gamer slip down the road any further, as Dice guarding the inside line for turn 3, and Justin just trying to needle the thread here. And it looks like he's done so, as he gets a nice line through into turn 4. And it's going to be a double left-hander here. Is Justin going to be able to hang around the outside? He is staying on the outside here. And Dice got a little bit of a tank slapper on. Dice a little bit braver on the brakes. But I think Justin's going to get this move. And yeah, he does indeed. And Justin leaving the door open for Dice there. He could have closed it, I think. But he safely up to P2 is Justin. And Justin will have his sights firmly set on our gamer up the road, who's got 1.4 gap now to the lead.
And further back, Chief, way at the back is Sam, Reg V, and Skintoni. And Reg V and Sam are, it's like a boxing match, the amount of contact these guys are having. They are like beating the crap out of each other practically for these cars. No inch is being given at all. And actually there was a wee move onto the second DRS zone where Skintoni could have got past him, but he got literally drove off track. So he will be fuming way back there in P16. But I know there is action happening up ahead, but you can see Sam is going to go for this again. Sam did go up the inside, so Reg V is covering that off, so Sam's going to go around the long way. And Reg V does get tapped, and he is spun.
Oh no.
This is what happens when you fight too hard. You can't fight for every corner, lads. Every position sometimes is not worth fighting.
Yep, and the battle up ahead continues between Zupson and Dice, but Dice, yeah, it looks like he's struggling in this latter part of the race. It looks like it's drying out a little bit as well. It's still wet out there, but not as wet, and I think the rain has eased off, so that may see some drivers, struggle with these changeable conditions.
Yeah, it's like, I think maybe Dice was well, who knows, but he was possibly pushing as hard as he could to try and get away as much as he could from these guys, because he probably knew that they were going to catch him, and now he's starting to come a little bit undone here.
Yeah, Meepo and Jurian battling very, very hard through the last corner, and McKenna as well in tow. So these guys find themselves together on track. Meepo and McKenna are teammates, and it looks like McKenna thinking about going on the inside. He's probably thinking he will just take that inside line just to keep it safe in case any incident up ahead. But looks like Jurian got a stellar exit from turn 2, and he's going to be safe in P6 for now anyway.
Yeah, Dice was looking like he was going to have a wee move on Zupson there, but I'm sure you won't mind me saying, but it was a little bit of inexperience there from Dice. He kind of forced his car, compromised his exit, and then that let Zupson just get away. So now Dice has it all to do to catch up again.
Yeah, McKenna up to P7 there. Meepo didn't fight it too hard. McKenna on the back of Jurian Prince here, but these guys, Jurian Prince and McKenna and Meepo, all very, very fast drivers, so may make up a few positions yet before the end of this race. We have 5 laps left to go, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm just watching this. I'm just watching on board with Justin, seeing the distance or the gap with our gamer, and our gamer must have just switched it on, and just switched it on this latter part of the race, because I mean he's just sailing away almost.
I think.
No, and as soon as I say that, fastest lap.
I think he switched on the full TC.
Oh, do you think so? Controversial. Yeah, but in saying that, now he was 2.2 seconds up the road. Justin is working hard, it seems, here to try and squeeze that gap. 4 laps to go. He could do it if anyone can. Justin can.
And there's someone going for a move there. Let me see who that is. It's Ainitas getting overtaken by. Oh, Dragon trying to get the overtake done, but doesn't get it done. Ainitas holds on to P5, but it's going to be tight run all the way down to turn 4. It looks like Jurian didn't get the best exits from turn 2 there, although he is gaining some time here. And it looks, he thinks about sending it down the inside. Would have been a bit of a brave send there from him. And you can see that, like I was saying, the weather conditions definitely easing off here. There is some dry lines starting to appear on the track, and Samim has pitted for softs at the back, so he's thinking he's going to risk everything for the soft strat.
Well, if that works for Palladium, just want to quickly touch on, Kitty says that my mic is a bit muffled.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Ooh. This mic is...
No,
okay.
My mic's normally pretty clear.
Yeah, I've not changed anything on my end, so I don't know what the issue is there. It looks like levels are okay as well, so
yeah.
Hopefully
well, not worry about that. Mac is going for the move on. Who is this? He's going to move on. Oh, a little bit of contact, and now Mac. Oh, it's not Mac. Sorry, it was. I I'm losing track of these. So Mac is up on the outside. He's trying to go up to past George. Does he get the move done? Oh, this is going to be side by side into this corner. Who is going to win it? Oh, they're still side by side. Who is that with, Chief? That's with Dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
And Dragon is still fighting this. They are pretty much still side by side. Dragon will be desperate to cover the inside, but Mac, oh, he goes. He makes the move to cover the inside. Mac is forced to go the wrong way around. He might try and cut back. No, but Mac, no, he's very experienced. He knows. Oh, he knows to stay on this left-hand side to get the grid line, but he's probably going to have to slot in behind him now because that fight is done until the next lap.
Yeah, and some great camera angles here. We've got an overhead of this battle, and you can see McKenna and Dragon as well as Ionidas and P7.
Sorry, Chief. Meepo's lost it.
Oh,
I think he lost it.
Yeah, he's got front wing damage. No, I don't see any front wing damage actually, but yeah, he definitely was off track there after turn 2. Oh, what happened? Argumer in the pits. Okay, right. So it is dry conditions. Gambles are happening right in front of us now. Justin is probably going to stay out on these wets. I imagine we've only got like 2 laps after this one, but the big question is how much can we gain? How much are these drivers going to gain on the softs? The interesting thing here is our gamer will be in chat with Samim. Samim was the first guy to put softs on, so our gamer would have had that information available to him and has made the decision that it's good enough to pit, and he thinks he can make up all the time he's lost in the pits there in 2 laps.
I don't know, man. It's like although in saying that, it does look like the track is drying really fast. Running on one person, the good person to spot for tire strats, and when the pit is Mac. Running on board with Mac. He doesn't seem to be struggling anytime at all, actually. But really, we're going to have to see what Justin does. I think they'll all respond.
Yeah, there we go. Fastest lap with Sam Ames, so indication that the softs are the fastest, but are they fast enough to make up? It's around about 20 seconds you're going to lose in the pits, and I'm looking at the interval from leader to P7, which is our gamer, 23.4. So we'll see that time tumble down, but is it going to tumble down fast? Oh, Justin, fastest lap on the wet, so that might indicate that our gamer has gambled wrongly.
Yeah. With only 2 laps to go and such a short track, yellow. We've got a yellow somewhere. With who's that? That's Meepo off again. Meepo on the softs as well. So maybe Meepo was doing a bit of a scouting mission for his teammate Mac. But yeah, not a good idea to go to these softs so soon. And I think I'm pretty sure that Justin Zupson and these front 6 have made the right decision. Now, in saying that, the last lap might get a little bit twitchy for them. So basically, it's all or nothing this last lap for both wets and softs.
Oh,
has the softs? Yes.
Yeah, Joel fastest lap, so he's on no softs. So yeah, 118.6 from him, but I think Justin said a 119. So not much delta difference. Obviously, 1 second is quite huge in terms of racing, but over the course of 2 laps, you're not going to make up 20 seconds, I don't think. The gap from our gamer to P1 is 22 seconds. So DRS enabled the track. The track is dry, but there's not a chance that this guy's going to make up 20 seconds in 1 lap.
Yeah, this is where it all comes down to now. So effectively, the game is basically telling you, get rid of these wets. But there's only this is the last lap. Now, we know how much the traction falls off when you're in the wrong tire.
Bob, there's big battle here going into turn 2. It's who is that? Zupson is in the midst of it, but yeah, dragging up to P2. McKenna now, he's harassing these guys for a podium position, and these guys are all wet.
Zupson has the DRS now because the DRS has been activated. So now, what's going to happen here? How are they all going to be with their traction and on their brakes? DRS activated. Here we go. Is Mac going to get the move on Drags? Is Drags going to get the late dive on Zupson? Something's going to give. Are they all going to make it? Oh, Mac sending it. Mac on the outside. Oh, and Dragon hits the back end of Zupson. That's surely going to give, definitely gifting Mac the P3. Is Mac going to maybe go for one more go? One more lunge. He's going to have pretty much 1 corner to do it in, really. He won't do it here. Certainly won't do it here. If he gets a good exit, though, he might be able to get it done to run down to the second last corner. He's going to try to go to the right-hand side.
Oh, it's going to be close.
Zupson covers it. Where's he going to go? Zupson's covering the inside. Back is going to go on the right side. Wide way. Subson is cutting in nice and tight. Oh, they're going to be side by side into the final corner. Who's going to get the P2? Oh, Mac, I think Subson's just done enough. Subson has just done enough to get the P2.
Word. I want to see the delta time between. Oh my god, between Dragon and McKenna was 0.001. Wow, an R gamer he isn't able to improve any positions. So that gamble on the softs was the wrong call from our gamer, and unfortunately he loses out on a chance to win this race. But he will start pretty high up in the feature race, I believe.
Yeah, so you can see pretty much, with the exception of our gamer, all the soft guys finished behind the main wet guys, because of course Ridgevy and Larson had issues that race. So overall, softs was not the right call. If they've a couple more laps, certainly it was the correct call, but given the nature that there was only 2 laps to go, I think our gamer might be kicking himself for that.
Yeah, it definitely added some spice to the race at the very end there, but in the end, it didn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
Exactly, yeah. Wise words are from Chester,
Chief.
Whatever his name is.
Alright, Chief, we have Kitsune's in chat.
Hello.
And she's asking, is it finished already? And it's like, no. That was the sprint race, Kitty. Okay? 14 laps. Now up next is going to be the feature race, which is a little bit longer and hopefully dry.
Yeah, I'm just catching up with chat. That race was so good that I didn't really see much, but I did see one comment that stuck out to me was, just don't stick it in your mouth. I think that's quote of the day, that one.
Just don't. Yeah, she's probably saying for me this, not stick the fork in the road.
Yeah, but that's just good advice in general, isn't it?
Don't stick it in the mouth. Well, it depends on what it is that you're sticking in your mouth. Like.
Anyway, getting to the standings, we've got Justin P1. He held out in wet conditions, changing to dry to take it home in P1. Starting in P9 too, so that's a really good result from him. Zupton up to P2. Really good to hold on to that. He was under a lot of pressure in the down moments of that race, but he came out tops. McKenna does get that podium in the end, and Dragon P4. And we're about to switch over to the feature race and find out what the hell is the the lineup for this one. Pretty sure it's not dry for the feature, says Justin. Ooh. So more wet stuff, it seems. Potentially. And we have to remember as well, the championship, yeah, we're round 2, so this is a championship. McKenna leading the championship, finish P3, so I guess damage limitation, but I mean, he started from the very back of the grid, so P3, a solid result from him. Oh dear, I'm just getting a black screen right now. This usually doesn't mean... doesn't indicate good things. Oh. Okay. Oh, we're off. We are off. Someone's left the session and it is immediately started the race. I went for... Oh, and there's a big crash into turn 1. I have no idea. I think it was Meepo went straight ahead at P1. Or sorry, from corner 1 there, and he's straight into the wall. So I think that might be a hardware issue, as Justin did start that race. P1 is currently leading into turn 2, and hopefully Tipsy Wall can get back in.
Yeah, well, I'm back in on the commentating, but not in the game just yet, Chief. So hopefully
the race just got underway there pretty quickly. I mean, as soon as it started, Meepo went straight into the wall, and he's now got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So he's essentially out of this. CM Punk as well having issues after turn 2, but up front it's Justin commanding the lead. P1, he's trying to build up a bit of a gap. Tenari is P3, and Dragon gets a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Revji, who is currently P16 and lagging behind. We have a change of position. P6 and P7 are battling here. McKenna up to P6, Crawley voiced onto P7. So a bit of a frantic start here, but it seems to have settled down pretty quickly. We do have Rgamer and Samim going side by side, so side by side through the penultimate corner. and Argamer had to go wide there to keep the car under control. Argamer up to P10, so that might have been a coordinated. Oh my god, I can't speak.
Coordinated.
That's the one, yep. It might have been a coordinated move from those guys as they are teammates and in VC together. Oh, Dragon is out! Dragon has retired in the pits, it looks like. So no safety car at the moment. Yeah, I don't know why Dragon is retired on lap 1 of a race. I'm not sure what's happened there. Maybe he picked up some damage from that lap 1 incident, but should still stay in the race. There's 20 laps in total. So still early days as Meepo gets a 5-second speeding penalty in the pits, and I believe he is retired as well. Oh, and there is a battle here for P3. Tenari up to P3. He was battling Dice. Dice was holding that P3 nicely, but Tenari takes the move, getting out of turn 4, and now they're in the double left-hander, but Tenari has got that move in the bag and is currently on the podium. Joel as well, doing well here at P5, but he is coming under a lot of pressure from McKender. Oh,
Still
McKender.
trying to get in here, Chief.
Yeah, McKender up. I don't even know what happened there, but I just looked up and McKender suddenly is P5. So Joel falling down the order might have just let that happen, as McKender is. Sometimes you just have to accept it. He's just generally gonna pass you anyway, so you might as well just let it happen. Oh, Crawley Voice is falling down the order here, and it's coming out of the last corner. He has lost it and is currently facing the wrong way and frantically trying to get the right way. He's at risk of getting disqualified here if you point the wrong way for too long, but managed to get it round the right way and actually is retired the car on track. So that is not good from him. That is not allowed. Oh, and Dice and McKenna now are fighting, but it's a short-lived fight as McKenna up to P4. So McKenna making short work of these guys in the midfield, as Dice having to get on the brakes. Pretty stomp the brakes there as McKender is taking a bit of a weird line for turn 3. But McKender up to P4, and now McKender has Tenari in his sights, but Tenari is right on the back of Zupson, so Tenari looking pretty pacey in this feature race. I haven't even had a chance to say, it is of course full wet conditions. Everybody with the full wets on. Oh, Tenari and Zupson battling it out for the penultimate corner. And Tenari will be looking to get a really good run for this final corner. Ooh, using all the track there. It can get pretty slippy on that curb, so a bit risky there from Tenari, but both drivers make it through the corner safely. And Zupson holding on to P2 for now, but oh, it's only a matter of time, I think, because Tenari looks like he has pace in this car. Oh, Tenari losing it from turn 2, and he manages to save it there just at the last second. Was on the grass. The back end trying to go the other way, and McKenna just says, "Thank you very much, I'll have that position," and he's up to P3 already. McKenna going deep into turn 2. Oh, that's weird. You don't usually see mistakes from McKenna such as that one, but yeah, Tenari struggling here, and Dice has got up to P4. So yeah, McKenna back up to P3, but he did make a huge mistake there. Thankfully got away with it this time around. And there's a freeway battle now. Oh, and who is that? Someone went into the wall. Someone went into the wall. I think it was either Dice or Joel, as Dice has dropped down to P7. Ioannidis up to P6. Joel P5 now, and Tenari P4. So it looks like the grid's just trying to sort itself out. Bob, are you okay? Are you able to get it back in, or are you having issues?
I had to restart my PC there, Chief. The game wouldn't restart for me, but I might be getting back in now, so bear with me 2 seconds, my man.
Good stuff. Justin setting another fast lap there. He is stretching his legs up front. He's got a 4.1 lead over Zupson, so controlling this race at this point. And I'm going to keep an eye on these conditions. It looks like it's full wets for now, for the foreseeable future, because I don't see that rain abating anytime soon. And McKender now starting to put pressure on P2 Zupson. Who else we got battling on track? It's P6 and P5 are battling pretty hard here. Oh, Ioannidis getting a big wiggle on out of turn 2, and that's allowed Dice to close up massively on him. And see down the order, we've got our gamer as well. He's joining onto the back of this grid. Oh, Dice going deep into turn 3, and our gamer alongside now on the exit. He's got the outside for the next corner. Is Dice going to try and hold on to this one? Ooh, you have to be very, very careful here. Any contact can send either car flying. Looks like these guys committed to the corner.
Back in, Chief.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dice loses out there. He's down to P8, so our gamer, nicely done from him for the double left-hander. Gets the move done, holds on to that one. McKenna up to P2, yep. Zupson as well. Right on the back of him here, but yeah, McKenna, he's got a bit of a mission here if he wants to win this race. 5.2 from P2 to P1.
Yeah, just back in there, Chief, and I just joined in the middle of that battle between Zupson and Mac. And Zupson, he doesn't yield easily, which I like to see, but he really pushes these guys. Like, he forces them to make the move. You're going to have to make sure you've got that move, and you're going to have to complete it, because if you leave even the slightest little whiff of the chance for Zupson, he's going to fight it, and he's going to hold it. And so he's really putting a message out to these drivers that yeah, you're going to have to get the dog. You're going to have to work hard to take his position. What's that now? We've got a yellow. We've got yellow sector 1 and 3. Who's that for? That's for Reggie.
Yeah, Skin Tony's off as well. And Reggie. So, and that's the end of the start-finish race. So that's a very strange place. Those two must have had it coming together, as Skin Tony has DNF'd and Reggie getting up to speed again. P13. So those guys having to come together. I see Crawley Voice in chat. He's saying, "Oh, it's not on stream." So he's saying he got hit from behind and got thrown into the wall. So unfortunately, he is out of this one.
Yeah, but if you recorded Crawley Voice, make sure you get that into the reports if you think it's worth reporting. And it's the thing also, Chief. We often tell people it's well worth your while recording. And in fact, it's good advice just to record all your races. If not to look back on them, but for incidents, if something happens, you can get it into the reports channel for the FIA to look over. But Tunari, Chief, is now creeping up onto the back of Zupson, and he's now going to have a go at this P3. His fellow Finn Mac navigated it pretty well, but now it's Tunari's turn.
Yeah, and Tunari, one of 3 drivers with a time penalty, so that will further give him impetus to try to get this move done, because he's going to need to build a gap if he's going to finish high up on the order, because with a 3-second time penalty, the way that the intervals are right now, he will lose a couple of positions.
Our gamer also starting to squeeze up here on the back of George. So in this little lull of the race, I would say, while everyone's trying to navigate these gaps between each other, we do have a bit of peace and quiet on the track at the moment, but not going to stay like that way, because these guys... Oh, in fact, saying that, Zupson does lose out to loses P3 to Chinari. I missed what happened there, Chief.
Yeah, I didn't see it myself. He must have made a mistake though, because yeah, that's an unusual place to see a move done. And oh, is that Tanari getting his wheels on the grass a little bit there? But
yeah, Tunaman's using a very high-risk strategy, if I may say, and using a lot of curb.
I've noticed that, yeah.
If it was me, I generally avoid the curbs like the bubonic plague. There you go. But you didn't think you hear that mentioned in an F2 stream, but in saying that...
oh, my word, Zupson almost collecting Tanari into turn 2 there, but managed to get the car slowed down just in time. But yeah, Tanari... Go ahead.
Further back, Chief George is really putting the pressure here on Joel, and is George going to have a go at sending it? What's Joel going to do? Joel just doesn't cover the inside. George takes possibly the opportunity to go up the inside, but they manage to avoid it. Oh, George gets a real tank slapper. Our gamer is keeping a watch and brief further back here, waiting to see what happens. Now, nothing much happens in this section, but if George can get a good exit here, you can usually get these guys run down to the second last corner. But Joel gets a nice line there. Go for it.
Our gamer got a nicer line out of that last corner, and it looks like our gamer's just edging alongside. Oh, and there is contact as well, but that's put our gamer out wide. So I need is holding on to P6 for now.
Yeah, that was always probably Yeah.
I was just going to say, McKenna, fastest lap there flashed up, so the gap has come down significantly. It's 1 second from the last lap. Oh, and yeah, our gamer going around the outside of turn 2, unusual place to make a move. Usually you see it on the exit or before the corner, but our gamer confident enough to hold it around the outside, and some great racing here from our gamer.
Yeah, the problem with going on the outside is that it just gives George the inside for this corner, and then of course he's gonna watch our gamer. Oh yes, George did get a tighter line there. It's harder to get on the traction, and you can see the difference there. Our gamer just creeps away now, 3/10 already in that one traction zone. So that was nicely navigated there by our gamer. Gets himself up into P6. No penalties for pretty much everyone except Dice, Sam, and Tunari, and we do know that they do play a major. Oh, Dice gets himself another 3-second penalty, and they do play heavily at the end of the race.
Yeah, and I just caught Ianitas. His back end wants to go one direction and he wants to go another, so he's constantly fighting that car, but he's doing well to keep it on track right now. He's P7 and no penalties. Yeah, we're at the halfway point of the race here, Bob. Do you think it's likely that these guys are going to pit, or are we going to say, oh, Ianitas once again, back end gets loose? I think he got on the curb a little bit there, as didn't cost him too much time, thankfully. But yeah, oh, Reggie is out. Is that on track? Is that... Yeah, that's turn 2, it looks like.
So no safety car just yet. Yellow just in the sector 2. Zopson is also squeezing up on the back here of Shinari. I'll get to your question in a minute, Chief. We just want to focus in on this battle. So we've got 2 battles now, Chief. We've got our gamer and Joel. And we've got Zopson and Tunari. These 4 guys are all fighting. Now Tunari, a car still on track on the side of the road. No safety car. Shinari gets a good exit, so I don't think that move's done, or that move's going to happen, and neither will the move for our gamer on Joel will happen, so maybe the next lap. Your question there about would these guys stay out? It's likely that Justin and Mac will... Well, probably Mac is probably... Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Mac and Justin are probably going to run this...
Someone's off, Bob, sorry, someone's off. It's Tanari. And it's in the middle of the double left-hander. He's somehow found himself on the left-hand side of the track on the grass, so he's dropped down to P7.
What was I going to say there? Oh yes, it depends on the gaps really, and it depends on the track limits. I think if Mac and Justin are feeling pretty comfortable on the wets, it's to be expected they'll probably will stay out. It'll just depend on the conditions, Chief.
Yeah, I think if anyone's going to pit, it has to be now. And I'm thinking, is it, like, if you're Justin and you're seeing that gap coming down the way it is, are you thinking you might have to try a different strategy if you have any chance of winning this race? Because as it stands, it looks like McKenna's going to close up on him in the next few laps and potentially steal that win from him.
Yeah, but they had a big Titanic battle last week, I think, didn't they, as well, for P1 and 2. Yeah, this is where the experience comes into these guys. What to do. It does look like, in terms of the clouds, it does look like brighter weather's coming. Oh, brighter weather is coming. Our game is right on the gearbox of Joel here. Joel sometimes breaks a little bit earlier, I noticed, in the Formula 2 cars, so that could easily catch you out. I really don't know, Chief. I have no idea what these guys are going to do.
Yeah, and there is a bit of a train here. It's from P3 all the way down to P7. And we're going to start to see some of these guys battle here. Our gamer, yeah, he's going to go down the inside. Oh, a bit of a tap on the inside. Joel guarding that inside line, but you have to say it was maybe a bit of a late defense there from him.
Yeah.
Could have caused an incident, but thankfully both of them getting away with that, and Joel having to go off track just to keep the car under control, but our gamer gets the move done, and Joel had to go off track once again. Ianitas takes advantage of that, and he's up to P5, so Joel's lost 2 positions there. And I've noticed a lot of these drivers are starting to use a lot of curb here on the entry and exits of corners. As who's this now? It's Joel is fighting back. He's potentially going to get this move done on Ianitas, get one of these positions back, but Ianitas. Joel!
I mean, he says I'm coming through.
Yep, and look who profited massively out of that was Tanari, makes up 2 positions, while Joel and Ianitas were fighting it there for turn 2.
Oh, Joel! Oh my goodness, no, don't do this, lads. So Joel nearly lost out there massively by potentially sending it on Joel, or sorry, Gennari, but then George was going to follow him through further back. What's happening here? We've got CM Punk and Empire fighting side by side for the final spot on the grid, and they're still side by side. If you're going to run with us, Chief, for a wee minute, because let's see what's going to happen here. Yeah. Who's going to break late? Who's going to break early? It was pretty much break at the same time, but is Empire going to get the switch back on him? No, Empire holds it well, and I think that's going to just stay put like that. George, yeah, these guys are all got a nice gap, so I don't think there's going to be any moves happening now, Chief.
Well, yeah, there was one move happened there, just as we were watching the Empire and Punk, was Zupson got overtaken by our gamer.
Right enough. Chief, just quickly we'll touch on this whilst we're waiting for something to happen here. Kitty says, does anyone else get affected by full moons? She says that she can hardly sleep during full moons. Well, so I just said I get a bit hurry.
Start hurling. Apparently it's a thing. Apparently, it is a thing. Like the term lunatic came from this concept of full moons and this. I think I saw it in QI one time, yeah. But my memory is not good, so I'll not continue.
So does that mean I can call Kitty a lunatic?
Yeah, pretty much.
Lunatic.
Talking about ticks, I have a Tic Tac for them. I'm gonna eat it right now.
Well, Chief, let's not talk about your anatomy, all right? We might be the only one
that would be a compliment at this stage in my life. But...
We Dice gets himself another time penalty. George still harassing the rear end of Joel, if I can say that. George definitely seems to have a wee bit more. Oh, thanks, Lapper. Well, he's not going to get a move done in turn one now.
Yeah, I need this really fighting the car all the way through this race. Somehow managed to keep it on track. He hasn't lost it so far, but yeah, you see it on these exits. Sometimes because he's using a lot of curb as well. That back end is very, very twitchy, but he's doing a good job to keep it on track, and he's still able to fight these guys such as Joel. Oh, and there is contact through turn 2 there, but no damage done. And once again, he is very twitchy on the exit.
Yeah, he's really, really twitchy, man. It's just if he's able to get this traction under control, he could definitely get probably more people here on the exits. But it's just whether he's too eager on it or whether he's got the car set up. I actually just noticed on the hero of George, it actually says the moon. See that? The wee little green moon. Yeah. The moon. There you go. Maybe he's a lunatic as well.
Oh, our gamer gets a free second. Oh, that's from the double left-hander, I believe. Yeah, so I think that's whenever you come out of the second part of the double left-hander and you run wide, usually that's where you pick up a penalty or easy done. As who is this battling through the last corner? Is it George and... Is it George? Oh, actually, yeah, there's two battles. It's George and Joel, and Tenari and Zupson also battling up ahead there. So we'll try and keep an eye on both of these battles. It's a good thing I have two eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zupson is... Yep, he gets overtaken by Tenari, but it's not over yet. They're heading down to turn 2 side by side, and Zupson has the outside line and has the move done. Looks like Tenari just conceded that move. And Joel as well. Joel gets the move done on Ioannidis, but Ioannidis trying to keep his oar in there. And, yeah, I think...
no, it's actually Joel was already in front. George is really sending it on him here. He's really trying to force his way through here. He really sent it from far on that first section we've seen there, and Joel defended it, and then you can see George is really on the brakes really late. He's really trying to force this. He's desperate to get past Joel. Joel is giving him pretty much just enough space. What's going to happen here? They're going to get a little bit hurry. There's a little bit of contact, and Joel, I don't know whether it was because of the contact or whether he wisely just backed out of that, but he loses out P6 to George. But Joel, I think these guys are getting a little bit flustered with each other. It's a little bit of aggression happening. And look at the gap, Chief, up ahead.
I need this big mistake. And that's going to cost him.
What's going to happen here? Joel is going to surely make this happen. He's not going to give this one up. George will have to give it up because his tyres will be a little bit rusty here, but will George now stand it back on Joel if he can get into the slipstream? I'm further up ahead. What's going on here? We've got Chinari and Dupton still fighting.
Side by side, Tenari. Yeah, Tenari's got one wheel alongside, under braking, pulls up alongside, and it looks like Tenari is going to go for it this time round. Looks like he got a good exit. Oh, bit twitchy on the exit as well, but it looks like he's got the move done. I think he's just oh, they're side by side, they're neck and neck going into turn 3. Who is going to brake later? Who's going to be the bravest? And Empire puts on the soft tire meanwhile in the background there. But yeah, Tenari and Zupson, the battle continues. Tenari coming out tops right now, but he does have that time penalty to contend with.
Also, if someone can explain, why did Empire put softs on?
Oh, sorry, Bob. George losing it there through the mid part of the double left-hander. Just about saves the car, but that is costing him big time, and Dice is going to get the move past him. So Ioannidis is lost out in that battle to Joel massively. He's actually lost another position down to P8.
Who's that off?
Oh, who's that? Oh, that's a back marker. I think that's Empire. He's on those softs. It looks like he might, I was going to say he's beached there, but he's just getting out of the way of everybody. So definitely not soft tire conditions, but maybe this is indicating that the track is drying somewhat, as the gap up ahead is now 1 second.
George and Dice. Oh, George! It's really going for it in every corner you see, every opportunity he sends it on people. Not hitting them, to be fair to him, but kind of compromising his own race here. I mean, Sam!
Oh, Sam, what a send there from him. He gets it under control. I thought he might have went a bit too deep there, but what a move from Samim.
He managed to get it done. A little bit of contact, George. I think he's seen it, and yeah, he didn't turn in too early. But George has been a little bit of a victim of his own, I suppose, his own racing technique, his racing style, the way he's been racing at the moment. Not necessarily bad, but it's just a lot of these moves are costly.
Yeah, and we're 3 laps from the end of this race. The gap from P1 to P2 is 1.2, but Justin is responding to the late charge from McKender and set the fastest lap there. So these last few laps are going to be crucial. Is McKender going to get within the 1 second, or the 1 second DRS range for these final laps? Right now he's tantalizingly close, 1/10 away from that DRS, but it's just...
Remember, Chief, the DRS is not active at the moment, though.
Oh, that's... Yeah, thanks for keeping me right on that one, yeah. So...
But the thing is, he is within, I reckon, slipstream distance. It might not be too effective from this range, but it might. And you can see, Chief, or you can see the Mac is slowly squeezing up there. He's dipped under the 1 second there. Oh, Mac gets a little bit thanks.
Oh, Ioannidis going down. He's trying to get a revenge move back onto Samim. Sends it down the inside, and Samim having to go wide to avoid contact. And there is more contact as he rejoins. He gets a 3 second time penalty for his efforts, does Samim. So, yeah, Ioannidis. I'm sure he enjoyed that one, but yeah, a bit too much contact there, I think, for these guys.
Yeah, they're sending it really late on everyone, and it's like not everyone's going to expect it. Oh, George really struggling there. On the
Tenari's off. Yep.
Tenari's off again.
Oh my word, so he's dropped down. He's got that time penalty as well, so that is going to hurt him massively. And it's going to put him in contention of dropping a position to possibly, well, not Dice. Dice has plenty of penalties, but maybe George and Samim can harass him for that now.
But look at this, Chief. Look what Max got the time down to now. 0.8 of a second. This might be 1 lap fight for the P1.
Yeah, and oh my word, Ioannidis going for a... What the hell was that? He swerves to the inside. He's going to take the inside for turn 2. Gets past Dice before the turn. And Samim following through as well. So these guys are very, very punchy in these last 2 laps of this race.
Yeah, George is not willing to yield. I know if he wants that move, he's making a sure. Oh, Sam!
What a switchback. Oh, he goes too deep. He goes off track once again. So a bit too exuberant there from Samim.
Yeah.
But George and Dice now side by side. Oh, and Samim forcing his way on the inside, making a free wide for turn 3. Who's going to come out of this one in the lead? Oh, and all 3 of them going wide. losing some traction there, and the cars were sliding out wide. As Samim somehow up to P7 from all that.
It's getting a little bit. They're getting little bit too aggressive here, lads. I mean, it's like I don't even say if I would say if this is on the limit, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
but George. Sorry, George gets a nice. Dice gets a little bit of a bad exit, and George now gets back up. George will have the red mist.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go up front. Sorry, Bob. Yeah, it's McKenna on Justin. It's the last lap of the race, and this is really, I mean, there's 4 corners left in which McKenna can steal this P1 from Justin in the dying moments of this race. Is he going to be able to do it? He's tantalizingly close for now, but DRS is not available to him, as you pointed out.
Yeah, if there's going to be a late move here, it is quite possible that Zupson might win the race. If there's a bit of contact between these two guys, of course, our gamer does have that time penalty. Sam and George are... Oh, Sam and George! Contact with Sam! He nearly spins Sam. Back up with the main front runners, though, Chief. I don't think Mac's going to be able to do this. It's going to have to be an almighty send. And this is the only place he's going to do it. Justin knows.
Oh, he's going to go for it, I think.
Mac's going to go around the long way. He's going to break early, trying to get the cut back on Justin. Justin is going to be able to hold it.
It's going to be tight.
Down to the final corner. They're going to go side by side in the race.
Oh my God, they're neck and neck.
They're going to contact. Oh my God, Justin's just done enough.
Oh my word. What a finish to the race. Justin P1, deserved. Fought off McKenna in the dying moments of the race. McKenna P2. And our gamer, what the hell, man? Our gamer's P3? What just happened?
Not lose it.
Oh, sorry, I got confused there between Argamer and Salmon. Yeah, Argamer up to P3 there. Zupson P4, Joel P8, sorry, P5, and Tanari P6. Sam aim across the line.
No, Sam! No! Did you see that?
Yeah, I caught the tail end of it there. A bit of craziness on the final run down to the flag.
But that's right. Hang on. Sorry, Sam had a time penalty. I missed that. No, I thought Sam was spinning so much, weaving so much that he lost the position. But of course, we just have CM Punk to cross the line, and then Empire on those 4-lap old softs on a wet track. Fair play to you. Good luck to you. But Chief, I can expect there'll be I think there will be quite a few reports. Although there wasn't necessarily many crashes, there was a lot of on the edge driving, and I think it'll be a lot of guys will be quite miffed at some of the driving today, but alas, it was very entertaining.
Yeah, I did see some retaliatory kind of driving, where someone gets overtaken, maybe gets bumped, and they're like, alright, we're playing like that, roll the sleeves up, and stoop down to that level. But yeah, maybe a bit more calmness was needed in that race for some drivers, but the guys up front, I mean, Justin commanded our race from the start really to the end. Was under threat from McKenna, but held on. And I tell you what, for the championship, that is going to do wonders. That's going to tighten the field up a wee bit, as I was wondering if McKenna was going to run away with it. So there we have it. The results for the weekend are in, and I'm just going to take a quick look at if I can get this to work. No, I can't.
Yeah, I think the standings would have been even closer, Chief, if Justin was able to get if he didn't have that incident I think he had in the feature race last week. He would have had much more points, but I mean, yeah, I think everyone looking at the standings before the race or the season began, that it's going to be Mac and Justin going all the way. But yeah, I think Mac should still be in the lead of the standings, but as you said, it'll certainly bump Justin nicely up the pack. And our gamer did pretty well there, the feature race. Well, hang on, that's the results of the weekend. Hang on, why is my button's not working? Oh. Yeah, my buttons are not working. Oh, there we go. Yeah, our gamer P3 in the feature race and fastest lap as well, to point out. Joel did pretty good there, P5. Of course, Mac going from P17 to second and potentially the race win if it wasn't for Justin holding him off.
Yep, and just looking at the overall results then, Justin collecting a massive 35 points, McKenna 24 points, And our gamer, not bad finish from him in each race. Gets some 21 points, subs and 20 points. So points mean prizes, as we all know. We'll see how that affects the championship standings next week. But for now, we're going to head over to the interview screen and see who we've got in the interview channel. And oh, we've got Brother Joel is waiting there eagerly. So let's go, Brother Joel. Hello, Brother Joel. How are you?
Hello. I'm tired and sweaty.
And sweaty. Okay. Tell us about your race. How'd it go?
I don't remember any of it, to be honest. It was all a whirlwind. It was very fun. That's what I do remember.
Yeah, it did seem that
I
way.
imagine the stream was epic because I just saw overtakes and 5 wide into one corner and 3 wide and people spinning and absolute carnage.
Yeah, I do have to say, for when I saw that it was going to be a full wet feature race, I was like, okay, this might be boring. But I tell you what, it was pretty exciting out there. Lots of battles throughout the pack, and you were involved in a lot of them with Ioannidis. Any other people you remember battling pretty hard for that one?
Crawley as well.
Crawley, yeah.
There was, overtaking in these F2 cars is so difficult in the dry, let alone in the wet. And you can't really do anything. And on this track as well, where you basically have to make a dive bomb to make an overtake. I was just focusing on staying on the track, and I think I basically gained all my positions from people making mistakes or getting penalties. So.
Okay. What about next week? How are you feeling about that track?
I don't know. What is the track?
I don't know. I was hoping you would tell me, and then I would just.
Let me have a look.
I wouldn't have to look.
Abu Dhabi.
Okay, that'll be interesting in the F2 cars.
Yeah.
At least we've got a guaranteed dry race.
Yeah, hopefully. Be a miracle if it's not.
Just give us a wee, like, I haven't driven the F2 cars in this game, but I've done it in previous games. Like, tell us a little about the handling, how it compares from driving these cars in the dry to these conditions, the full wet conditions.
What? You mean F2 from dry to wet?
Yeah, like, what's the difference? Like, is it much harder, or, because I imagine the F2 cars, they do tend to, they're a bit more sluggish. You imagine they'd be a wee bit easier to drive in the wet conditions, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, they do tend to step out. It's a weird thing on the throttle. You think you're absolutely fine, and then when you get up to between second and third gear, the back end steps out. So you've always got to take your foot off the throttle very slightly while shifting from second to third. Same with the start as well. Very weird race starts that you have to get used to because you can floor it. You can put full throttle at the start of the race, and then when you get up to third gear, you have to come off the throttle a little bit. Otherwise, you'll just spin out randomly. I'm not sure they're like that in real life, but that's what you have to do in the game.
You just reminded me of something that happened in the I think it was the sprint race or no, maybe it was a feature. I can't remember, but anyway, Dice went from like P7 to P1 in the first corner pretty much on the start of the race. So we've seen that in tier 2. He's pretty good at his race starts, but F2, that was something else. He just flew into P1 somehow, some way. So obviously we've got different people using different assists and stuff, and I think Dice does use a medium traction control. Do you think that has a big advantage then in these conditions?
I think it has a big advantage at the start, but after that I don't think it's very useful because you need to be able to control your throttle on the exits as well. So yeah, that would explain his brilliant start, but after that I think it's probably faster if you're used to no traction.
Okay. And okay, well, unless Bob, you have any other questions for Joel, we'll check them out.
No.
Bye, Joel.
Bye.
Let's see. We've got Samim and R Gamer. Are we ready for R Gamer yet, or your pillow? Or...
Get Sam in because I was talking about the battle with George. Got quite feisty. I can see they're chatting away here in the Discord as well. So
yeah,
let's get some voice to it.
Okay, Samim, welcome to the commentator's booth.
Hello, boys.
How are you today?
I don't know how to feel after that race.
Well, can I set it
show
up?
us where you touch you, sorry.
Can I set it up for you, Sam, so you can just take it away from there?
Of course, mate.
From what we've seen, you've had a reasonably quiet race for a while, because you were just kind of just getting on with your job, basically. But it seemed to be near the end of that feature race is when things started to get quite heated on track. It was specifically seemed to be between yourself and George. I can see there's comments here in the chat about dive bombs, and I think everyone was doing that because that was the nature of the Formula 2 cars. But I think I said on the stream, Sam, that battle between you and George and even Dice, it was starting to get almost like really, I don't want to say aggressive, but it seemed to be like just on the limit, and it seems to be like people were doing, as I was saying in chat, they're almost like revenge passes. I was wanting to know how you felt about it.
I mean, it was close all around the last few laps, but at some point we were on the straight, just driving and tapping wheels, banging wheels. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not making aggressive steering changes. I'm just keeping my own line. And in regards to the dive bombs, I mean, yeah, all the turns are like, at least in Sector 1, deep braking zones. So if you want to take your opportunity to make a pass, you got to brake deep. And of course, you got to keep it clean, but sometimes you just outbrake yourself. We didn't have any massive crashes. I didn't damage anyone. So if the other person is disappointed with my way of driving, he's always free to report, and I'm sure that the FIA will figure that out. But I must say that first lap I was really a shit show, because turn 1 people just come from 100 meters back and drive people off the road into turn 1, and same going for turn 3 on lap 1 of the feature race. So that was quite disappointing. But in regards to the battle I had at the last few laps, I really enjoyed it. I don't mind a little bit of wheel banging. So I don't have any problems with that, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm the same. Whenever I'm on track, there's nothing I love more than having, wheel to wheel racing with people, like right on the limit.
Yeah.
And realistically, I mean, I think if I just try to cast my mind back, I didn't really see anything that I would say is worth reporting, really. Although, I mean, it happened so fast. I think there was a big send from you on the first, was it the second corner, which you actually made stick. It was actually quite a pretty good move. Actually, me and Chief seen it on the stream, and we initially said that it seemed quite deep, quite far off, but you made it stick. It was just in the next corner, it seemed like George wasn't happy with it, and he made sure to send it on you the second time, and then this kind of leapfrogging effect seemed to happen a lot.
Yeah. I mean, what you guys saw was probably right. I've seen one move that was like questionable in my opinion. I made an attempt to overtake them into turn 3, but I really missed the braking point there, so I went off track. But so in turn I lost my position again, but my exit was so good that I had a huge run into turn 4, and we were like side by side, 3 of us braking deep into turn 4. I understand that the other person might be frustrated a little bit, but in my opinion it was all within the limits, and as I said, if anyone is unhappy, then they're free to report.
Yeah, it is kind of the nature. I said it, Sam, before the actual race even started, before the sprint started, that given the nature of Austria, it isn't the most exciting track to overtake people in Formula 1. And then whenever you put it into Formula 2, where it's even harder to overtake, and it was wet, it's natural to expect people to send it on those corners. I mean, otherwise you're just going to just follow behind each other all the time. So I think, I mean, I don't think anyone would have been surprised. And if anyone is surprised at that kind of driving, then maybe they're not used to racing Formula 2.
Yeah, I mean, one of my fuck-ups as well was that in the beginning, like in the one-shot quali, the buttons in the game are different when there is a one-shot quali. So I pressed the wrong button starting the quali, and also picking a preset up from the game itself, which was terrible. It was all off camber, and the suspension was really incorrect there. So I was driving a boat the entirety of the 2 races, unfortunately.
That's it. Are you any questions, Chief, for Sammy?
No, I'm good. I enjoyed that move, that turn 2 move from you. Like Bob said, we thought you were just going way too deep, but you managed to get the position and stay on track. But yeah, unfortunate to see such the driving kind of quality descend into chaos as the race went on in the mid pack there. It seemed like it didn't look too nice to drive.
Which part?
Towards the end of the feature race, there was it seemed like a lot of wheel banging going on in the midfield, and
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people just sending it. But I don't know if that's conditions, this different car, the F2 car, handling, or just maybe drivers getting a wee bit frustrated and sending it when they shouldn't.
Yeah, personally for me, it was I was not frustrated, but to be honest, I mean, I didn't mind any wheel banging, a little bit of contact. Like, as long as there's contact, but there's no damage, or there is no one spinning, or there is no one losing control, then I don't really mind too much. But I hope tomorrow is better anyway.
Yeah, I have one question for you actually. We
Yeah.
saw in I think it was the sprint race.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, our gamer was leading the race, and he decided to pit for softs. No, I was thinking that you had pitted for softs already. You're probably in VC together, and you're giving him information. Did you kind of, was that a joint call from both of you to switch our gamer onto those softs, or was that on him?
So I've seen the track getting drier and drier, and I went for the gap and went on softs, and that same lap, I think the reports went out that soft was the faster tire, and AR asked me to keep him posted on the pace. But I think I told him, like, I quoted to him that he should have boxed. I didn't mean per se, like, I don't know his gap to the guy behind or in front, but tire-wise, I think he should have boxed. But conditional-wise, like, I don't know who he's in front of or who he's behind of. So I told him to box, but obviously I don't know the gaps of his competitors. So
Yeah.
tires were better. I told him the tires were better, and he made the decision to box. So it was kind of a fuck up from both of us, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, worth the gamble, but didn't pay off at this time around. But
Hmm.
it is what it is, I guess. And
Yeah.
I think that'll do for now. We'll throw you out of the commentators booth, but we appreciate you joining us.
All good, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, now. We have Justin in chat.
Got Justin. Now, I'm aware of Crawley's waiting too, and then we'll leave our gamer to the end because, I mean, I'm going to get the benefit of what I used to do for you guys. Whenever you wanted a break, you just bring me in and I would talk.
Yeah.
So we'll leave gamer to the end. I think we should bring in the race winner and then Crawley. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's go. So we have the race winner gracing our commentators booth. It's Justin Ayert, I think is.
Bien joué.
Ayert, not
So-
Ayert.
Sorry, say that again. Ayert?
No. Ayert.
Ertz, like as in Ayrton Senna's?
No. It's like air, like you
Air.
breathe air, and then
No, I can't do
Ayert.
that. Justin, so how was your race?
fun. In a way that was chaotic fun at the same time. I think the first sprint was trying to climb up the field and then went for P2, but then our gamer decided to pull a Ferrari strategy and then box. So took the P1. It was nice. And then McKender making me push like a madman on the feature race. And then the final few corners fight was also pretty fun. Other than that, in between, it was just trying not to die, really, because it was pretty difficult to race in Austria with a wet setup. Or, no, dry setup in a wet race.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, Chief, that Justin, there was an awful lot of opportunity to die in that race today, not just by people making mistakes by themselves, but the amount of sends. It almost, you kind of didn't see it as such because you were just, usually up.
Oh,
at
he
the front.
did? And then there was one instance. CM Punk once smashing into you at one point, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm getting
lap one.
But generally, Justin was way up at front. However, she stole my thunder. There was, I think, two incidents. There was the CM Punk when it took you out, and I think I was screaming on commentating like, "Not again!" And then there was, I think there was an incident. Was it an our gamer as well? Tapped the rear end or something. I'm not sure, but I do remember you getting bumped from the rear at least twice.
Yeah, I remember our gamer absolutely destroyed my rear diffuser and into what was it, turn 4. And then the second bonk that you mentioned, I don't remember when that is.
There was a major bonk. It was almost like a safety car in Australia moment all over again.
With me.
Yeah, it seemed to be you. I thought it was you. Or maybe that was Dragon. Actually, you keep getting you guys mixed up because your names are so similar now.
For sure was Dragon. I don't remember getting
That must have been Dragon then. Dragon
Unless he
basically
got maybe he got bonked so hard he just can't remember it. Oh, he's blacked out.
yeah. Gonna smash. No, I'll not say that. No, I can't say it. You say it's very rear back. No, I can't say it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say though, just to get back to the feature race, that once I saw McKenna in P2 and that gap falling down every lap, I thought it's only a matter of time before McKenna gets you. But for like once he got to like within a 1 second range, you suddenly were setting fastest laps, and yeah, you just seemed to get a new lease of life. Was that just you were just saving something in the tank, or were you just pushing like all hell?
That's a question I can't even answer, to be honest. I saw he was getting quicker. I knew in my head it wasn't a matter of if he's going to overtake me, but when. But like you said, for some reason when he got within that like 1.1, 1.2 second gap, it's just the pace just started coming. But yeah, and then towards the final lap, I kind of was under a lot of pressure because every time I brake that much later, I'd always lock the fronts with the dry setup. So he pushed a lot, I pushed a lot, and then it almost collided on the final corner. But it was a nice Alonso Ocon-esque Japan style race finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
the one thing I was going to say, Chief, was that I've been saying it throughout the stream, Justin, that I think I can remember vaguely something happening to you in the feature race last week, which really cost you like definitely a podium. If it wasn't for that, like you could quite possibly be leading the championship, I think. But I think you should surely at least be top 3 now, Chief, wouldn't he? With those points.
Yeah, definitely. Cause I'm looking at the championship standings from last week. Yeah, so you weren't even. Yeah, you were P10, I believe, after the results came out. So
Yeah,
six
my
plus.
teammate killed me.
Oh, there you go. 6 plus 35 equals 41. So yeah, you'll fly up there. I'm sure you'll be top 3 at least after that stellar performance in both those races.
Yeah, and I think Mark will still be in a commanding position though in P1 because he's done he's just amazing at these Formula 2 cars.
Yeah.
But just to finish up on this, Chief can get Crawley in because I think Crawley wants to chat about something that happened to him.
Oh.
But it's going to look like, Justin, it's going to be a two-horse fight, really, I think, for the title of this Formula 2 race, as to be expected. But I'm sure you're up for the fight.
Well, maybe, because the F2 championship, I mean, I'm only really here racing just for fun. Like, to be completely honest, that quali lap I did was my first lap of practice I did in F2. And I'm also going to be missing a race in 2 weeks' time. I'm seeing the Ireland-Latvia game, so that's fun.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if I can just, I guess, have fun, that's all I'm in for. But if I win the championship, that'd be cool. But the Tier 1 championship's what I'm really aiming for.
Well, I mean, you can try as much as you want, Justin, but it's quite clear that me and Dan are going to win that.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So it's like, don't waste your time.
I see.
Anyway, good job, Justin, my man. Thanks for joining us, dude, and good luck for next week. Bad luck on Friday, of course.
Wow.
Is Kebab coming back, Chief?
Unfortunately, no.
Poor Kebab, I miss him.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
Justin, yeah,
Justin.
appreciate it, man, and we'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and then Crawley Voice is in. He's waited patiently in the wings there, but I feel like he's got something to get off his chest. Crawley Voice, how was it for you, and what have you got to say for yourself?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I was editing. I don't know. I mean, I had two of the best race starts ever. And first race from P11 into corners, I went P3 or 4, and I had a battle with some meme there. I lost traction at the end of before turn 4, and I couldn't brake. I was skating. That's why you saw me on the grass, on the gravel.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I got hit from behind, and then I couldn't brake over the curbs. So yeah, and on future race, end of lap 2, I on the start finish line at the acceleration and just got hit from behind, and they threw me to the wall. So yeah, very bad luck.
That's awful. And so basically a race to forget, or two races to forget.
Yeah, 2 race
Yeah, it's
and
unfortunate. It's unfortunate, yeah.
4 races with Silverstone.
Well, I mean, yeah, the numbers are against you right now, but hopefully next week we've got Abu Dhabi next week. What do you reckon? Do you think you'll get back on track then?
Yes, just I will try to avoid like everyone. Maybe qualify last and you know pass everyone through the accidents.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that can work, and it can go against you as well, because sometimes you have
Yeah.
to make your way through the carnage, and that will collect you. But you never know, you might get lucky. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, maybe you need to just like build like a force field kind of device, so you can have it around your car, and everybody can leave you the hell alone.
Yeah, yeah. That would be ideal.
Yeah. Well, it is one of those things, hard racing. And I think, with the F2 cars, everybody's trying to get up to speed, maybe lack of practice and stuff. So I'm not trying to excuse any bad driving, but certainly, as Bob said on stream, if you have any evidence of bad driving, please do report it so FI can try and get it under
Yeah,
control.
that's what I was just doing. So no worry.
Good stuff, man. Well,
Uh, I
yeah,
I
go.
hope I see. I don't know if I get called for tomorrow, Tier 2.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
it
know.
looks likely actually, looking at the registration. So hopefully see you on
Yeah,
track there, yeah, and hopefully you have a better time of it out there.
yeah. There I have better time.
Yeah. Okay. Bob, any further questions,
No, man,
suggestions?
no questions for my man,
I
Crawley.
I just want to add something. I think F2 cars are way easier. I mean, you just throttle down to second gear or third gear at the corners. It's very easy to accelerate, even on wet surface. I don't know, in my opinion.
Okay, and just out of interest, like, what assists are you using then when you're driving?
No assist.
Oh,
Only
that's.
only the corner line.
Sorry, that
And
yeah.
that's why last time on Tier 1, because I didn't have the racing line on corners,
Oh yes, that's right.
that's why I got penalized for 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's tough gig
But
tier one. Yeah.
it's fully acceptable. I mean, it was my fault.
Yeah. Well, just keep the head down and keep working away. Everything's experience.
Yeah.
What can't kill you will make you stronger. But yeah, we appreciate you taking the time out to address those issues in the interviews. Unless you've anything further to say, we'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
You too, bro.
Bye bye.
What a nice chap.
Lovely chap.
Yeah, good attitude. Speaking of good attitudes, I don't know why that's not a segue at all, because this guy is not got a good attitude. It's our gamer. He's in chat. So here we go.
Right, off you go, our gamer. The mic is yours. The world is your oyster.
Is it like a context to this skit? I don't know.
Skit.
I'm lost.
Our gamer, did you know?
Yeah.
Two days ago, it was David Gilmour's birthday.
Who's that? I don't know.
What?
Oh dear.
David Gilmour?
You don't know who David Gilmour is, right, Chief? He's not getting this interview. Get him out. David Gilmour is the lead guitarist and singer of Pink Floyd.
Is he dead?
No, he's not dead. Oh my. This is just descending and just. Oh.
Worst
Is this Pink
ever.
Floyd like an old band?
Oh,
Wait.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's a cool guy. Yeah. Okay.
He's a cool guy. Nah,
He's 77 years old.
that's young
Yeah.
compared to us. Our gamer, how was your race? Oh,
It was, I don't know, first in quali, it was a good quali. I got pole, and the sprint I was controlling the lead. I had pace on I think everyone but McKinder. But sadly I hit it for the right tires and kinda lost the lead.
so tell us
By
about
mistake.
that decision to pit. We were talking to Sammy. He kind of said that he went on softs first. He gave the information they were faster, but he didn't know exactly where you were in the race. So you decided to take that information and go, right, I'm gonna pit. Obviously didn't work out.
No. I think Salim is covering his ass by
Oh.
telling you these lies.
Oh,
He said it's fast. He said pit. He told me to pit.
Oh my god.
He didn't ask like what delta between me and a guy ahead or behind. He didn't ask anything, but he told me to pit. And kind of Samim, like he's a great driver. Maybe he's knowledgeable in the game, so I said like maybe I follow him and kind of pit and lost my my easy win. So thanks Samim for.
Wow.
No.
The cracks.
I also like I also had the idea to pit, so it's not like I would never win on him, but yeah, I don't know. I think it was an easy one, but it's just like a trick to everyone, or tip to everyone. If it's wet to dry, the wet tires are better than the dries. If it's dry to wet, it's always pit, because the dry tires are not good in the wet. You lose like 20 seconds easily, but the opposite is much easier. So I think I should have stayed with the wets, even though they were like 80 degrees, I think. So they were a bit overheating, but I think I had good pace, and even Justin and McKinder were like maybe 2 or 3 seconds slower. So it's not like I could gain 20 or 30 seconds back. So you know, kinda bad decision.
And how badly was how gutted are you to lose that win? Because it was so close.
Yeah, I don't know. Up2 is not like a big thing for me, but it was a bit sad because I had pole, I had win in sprint, I had win in feature, so kind of like I was about to do like all three together in one race against pretty fast guys, Justin and McKinder. So I kind of like I don't know, like prove I had good pace compared to fast tier 1 guys, and Austria maybe is a good track for me, and maybe it happens also in tier 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not sad. I'm just kind of disappointed.
Well, next week is Abu Dhabi. It's not really your home track, but it's probably the closest to home track you're gonna get this season in F2. How do you feel about that one?
Abu Dhabi is good, but I don't know, in F2 it will be a fun race or not. But I just hope it's a bit of DRS, because we lack DRS in in Austria. And Abu Dhabi is good. I learned a lot in Abu Dhabi in F2, and I mean F1. I learned it a lot, and I figured out the F2 cars a bit. So I feel more confident to maybe get the win if McKinder has gearbox issues. But I just hope Mepo doesn't punt me into turn 1 again. And I think I have good pace to get a podium or win in Abu Dhabi. So Mepo, please don't punt me.
Yeah, I kind of like, there was some technical issue at the start of the race, and all it just loaded in at turn 1, lap 1, and I just saw Meepo flying straight across. So I imagine it was like a hardware failure or something, or that would be my excuse anyway if I did that.
Yeah, I was like I think the last by turn 2, and I made like 17 positions in the race. Maybe you caught some of that, but yeah, it was a good recovery from me, so kind of happy about that. It was better than just staying at the front and doing lapping with the wet, so it made the race more interesting for me.
Okay, and I'm just looking at the results from last week. So you were in, let's see, P5. So I reckon, yeah, you had some good results today. probably going to move up a few positions. What do you think overall over the season? Do you think you might be able to contend for the title, or are you thinking it's just McKenna and Justin and you're fighting for P3 essentially?
Maybe in the wets, because I had good pace on Justin in the wets, and in the dries, no. Justin is so fast in the dries. At McKenna, if he gets more gearbox issues, and maybe I could be like E1 and have like a good gap. Because McKenna is faster than I think everyone in the lobby, but if I could build a gap again, I think maybe he would not be able to catch me by the end of the race. But maybe more inter races, more wet races could swing it in my favor. I think.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not going to be a wet race next time around in Abu Dhabi, but maybe the following races we'll get some more wet stuff and it'll suit you down to the ground. Can I just say, to end this interview with you, that the Saudi Arabian national anthem is rubbish.
What?
It's rubbish. Like, what is it?
That is insulting.
I'm sorry,
racist,
but
man.
I'm just
What?
calling it. I would say the British anthem is rubbish as well. Like the lyrics are just rubbish, but the Saudi Arabian anthem, it only lasts like 1 minute and 20. What the hell?
Wait, what do you mean? Like you mean the words or like the music in part of it?
Yeah, the music, yeah.
Huh. I don't know actually. I haven't heard it in a long time, so I don't know if it's good or not.
You don't.
No, but we'll improve it for you, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could hire you as a guitarist to maybe make up something.
I reckon I could probably do better than that. Not saying a lot. Honestly, sort of out
Give
argument.
you maybe like $10 million.
Yeah, send me some of that oil money, please.
Yeah, oil money.
Right, okay, we're gonna chuck you out for now, but thanks for joining us in the commentator booth. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, it was fun. I can't wait to watch it with you guys. It was pretty fun, and you have the perfect combo for the comms. So yeah, thank you guys, and see you next week.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere, bro.
Bye bye.
Bye. There we go, Bob. It's over, and yeah, what have we learned in this race? That McKenna is as fast as always, Justin same, but some other drivers showing some relatively good pace there. Our gamer being one of them. Dragon as well. I think if he wasn't doing the not qualifying gig, he'd probably be up there, fighting for race wins. No futuristic this week, actually. Just realised. A few drivers missing off the grid, but yeah, I think this season is going to be a good one. The final lap of that race, though, that was something else. I mean, McKenna and Justin side by side through the last corner and crossing the line. Justin just pipping McKenna. That was something special, and great way to end the race for ourselves and for the viewers.
Another thing we learned, Chief, as well, is that somehow, just beyond me, that our gamer doesn't know who Pink Floyd is.
Yeah, that's pretty
like
disgusting.
Like one of the greatest, most inspirational bands of all time. But anyway, yes, I'm hoping that that last lap battle is going to be the kind of thing that we're going to be looking forward to, Chief, throughout the season, and I can expect it probably will be. Justin and Mac are going to be up there fighting for that win. And even though Justin took the win and he does have the pace to win quite consistently, I think it's fair to say that Mac overall is the quickest guy on the grid. Like, I mean, he goes from last almost first, like almost, what's that, two times a week now?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely the one to he's the one to beat.
Yeah, and you know what? I think he's in chat at the minute. He might be watching. I would love to get an interview with McKenna. So we'll make that our objective for the season, to get it somehow, some way, persuade him to get in here. And I think he's done it one time before, I believe. I think that is the case, but
no, Mac has never. I have begged Mac. I have even offered services.
Oh god!
Still can't get Mac.
That might explain why he doesn't do interviews, actually.
Yeah, that's why. Yes, maybe why he doesn't do it.
Yeah, but we will try our best. We will put the peer pressure on
him.
What
if we get Icewind in, but just pretend it's Mac?
Yeah, he could literally get any Finnish guy in, and
he literally could if it's McKenna. When you have no benchmark to base it on, it's like Tunari could come in and just be, yeah, this is Mac.
Well, that's it for the stream. I think we're done here. Tomorrow is Tier 2 at Austria, and then we've got Tier 1. Myself and Bob will be battling it out for P10 once again on track for that one. And next week we're heading to, in the F2 series anyway, we're heading to Abu Dhabi. So lots of racing coming up in the next couple of days. So, and I think Kitsuna is, yeah, she's waiting patiently in the sidelines. So big respect and shout out to Kitsune and Eddie as well. I'm sure Eddie's listening in on the action.
Yeah,
But
the wee Eddie, he's just sleeping on the sofa.
sleeping and farting away as usual.
Oh man, his farts get stripped wallpaper.
And on that note, that's it from us, guys. Thanks for everyone for watching, and tune in tomorrow for the Tier 2 race. Bye, guys.